Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Monday Minor League Memories. Today I'm going to share with you a AAA affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, and I'm going to share with you the 2006 Iowa Cubs, featuring Felix P. on the checklist right here, and it is spelled, and I'll just show you the other card in the set. It is actually spelled pie, but it is pronounced P, as you can see, P-I-E. So, Felix P., if any of you are Chicago Cubs fans in the 2000s, you definitely know who this guy is. This was one of those international free agents that the Cubs really invested some time and money in, and he was supposed to just light the minor leagues on fire. I remember first seeing Felix when he was in Single A. I got a few things signed from him then. He had very little out there, card-wise at that time. And I actually might have even got a cheap baseball signed by him, if I'm not mistaken, thinking that you can't miss this guy. He's going to be an impact player for Chicago for many, many years. Well, that didn't necessarily work out that way. I want to say that after things didn't work out in Chi-Town for him, he wound up playing for the Orioles organization, and things didn't go so well there either. So, if you guys remember Felix P., definitely say something down below, because I bet if you were collecting Cubs in the 2000s, early 2000s, around this time, well, not early 2000s, but mid-2000s, you probably invested some money in this guy, and that investment didn't work out so well for you, I bet. So, another big name in this set, and probably the biggest name, is former Chicago Cub pitcher Rich Hill. And Rich Hill was super cool about signing. I remember that. He took care of me with about 6 or 7 cards, if I'm not mistaken, in addition to that one. And so here are the others in the set. We have Dave Aardsma, who I am pretty sure still, alphabetically, is the first name in the baseball encyclopedia, being out Hank Aaron in that category. I could be wrong, but AARD. If there's anybody before that, definitely comment below. Here's a real cool name, Buck Coates. Jeff Deerdorf. Casey Kapitsky, who actually, after a season or two, he wound up being a coach in the Cubs organization. Mike Fontenot, who I believe went on to play for the Orioles as well. Brandon Emanuel, who became a pitching coach. This is Kerry Lightenberg, formerly of the Atlanta Braves. This is one of his last few seasons playing. Casey McGee. This was another big one at the time. Jay Cuck Ryu. Again, like Felix P., you probably remember this guy being a big-time, international prospect from South Korea that was in the Cubs system. Ryan O'Malley. Michael Wirtz, who also is now in the coaching ranks, I believe. This is another big-time prospect, first-rounder Michael Restovich. I remember when he was drafted by the Twins, and he was a big deal. Augie Ojeda, who was in the majors as a utility infielder type. Andrew Shipman, or Andy Shipman. And this one is Coach Von Joshua and pitching coach Alan Dunn. And that is it for the ones that I got signed. Again, this is AAA, so it's a little harder to get your stuff signed because there's so many guys coming and going off the AAA rosters that sometimes when the set comes out, 10 guys are missing, and I think that was the case here. Bobby Brownlee, Brandon Singh, Les Walrond, Giovanni Soto, which I would have loved to get that one signed. Angel Guzman, who was another hyped-up international prospect of the Cubs. Matt Paget. Ryan the Riot. Unfortunately, I never got Terrio to sign. I'd love to get that card signed by him if I ever saw him again. Raul Valdez. Mark Watson. and brief manager of the Cubs, Mike Quady. I know he was there on an interim basis, and I know he was one of their coaches, like a third base coach as well or something like that, and the trainer, Bob Grimes. So overall, at the time of getting this set, this was a pretty big deal getting these Felix P's done. I do remember that. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode. Look forward to your comments below. Let me know if you remember Felix P. and how big of a prospect that guy was. Thanks.